Hi, I'm back, and this is Daredevil Favorites, where I bring up some of my favorite issues featuring Matt Murdock, the Daredevil, the man without fear. Now, to make this a little more challenging, I decided to only do one-shots with this, so no big story arcs here. This is some like single issue, pick them up, they're cool, enjoy them, we're done, and that's it. Now, I'm going to begin with, I don't know, Frank Miller. Now, the interesting thing about Frank Miller is he didn't create Daredevil, but he might as well have, because that's pretty much what everyone plays with, is the stuff that Frank brought into the character. And as a matter of fact, I've often said, like, you could just go back and read the Frank stuff, and that's good enough. You don't even have to read anything else. There was like, almost 20 years of Daredevil, probably 15 years of Daredevil before Frank Miller came to it. You don't even need to see that stuff. This is what he's got now. This issue is 191. This is written and drawn by Frank Miller, no Klaus Johnson here. This is his last issue of the regular run. He did come back to do Born Again, but this is the end of his original series. And it's called Roulette, and it's a really emotional tale where, long story short, Daredevil is unable to help a child, and it really takes a beating on him emotionally, and he goes to talk about it sort of with his old buddy Bullseye, who's in the hospital recuperating from being crippled by him from a previous adventure. And, well, they chat over a game of Russian roulette, where he broke into his hospital room and keeps putting a gun to his head and then to Bullseye's head. And, of course, we do flashback to Matt's origin. What's really exciting about this issue is everything you need to know about Miller's take on Daredevil is in this single issue. It's really, every time I read it, I'm really kind of knocked out by it. It's one of the best last issues of a good run that I've seen. High quality stuff. I highly recommend this. Everybody pays attention to the death of Elektra and a couple other issues that Frank did, but this is one of my favorites right here. This is 191. Now let's go over to Ann Nocini's run on Daredevil. Now, she took over not too long after Born Again, and she probably the best thing that she's known for is creating Typhoid Mary. And of course, she was the writer during John Romita Jr.'s run on the book, where he really kind of reinvented his style. And this issue is, which one? This is 268. Ann Nocini writing and John Romita Jr. Drawing. I love this cover. This is probably one of my favorite Daredevil covers of all time, actually. And this is in the middle of Nocini's run, and he was run out of town. His life was all fucked up by Typhoid Mary and the Kingpin, and he lets it go and leaves New York behind and becomes sort of a wandering hero for quite a few issues. And this is my particular favorite out of that period, where he stops at a little bed and breakfast that's run by this couple, and the husband, his brother is like a crook and like a real thug. He extorts money from people all the time, and he keeps forcing him, he bullies him into being his, like, you know, right-hand man, and, you know, his little heavy there, and he doesn't want to have anything to do with it, so he jumps in and has a little chat with the guy, and sort of changes his tune a little bit, and with, well, a noose around his neck. It's a really great little intense piece. You don't really have to know what's going on for the whole run to enjoy this individual issue. I love this one a lot. This is 268. And fast forward to 304. D.G. Chichester was the next writer to take the whole reins of Daredevil. And he basically kind of got things going back to normal bit in Matt Murdock's world. And in this individual issue, he had several artists. So This one's Ron Garney. And this is a very simple story. This is 34 hours in the life of Daredevil, where he is... I guess he has the day off because he's doing everything he can to keep things safe. There's a whole bunch of individual issues. Actually, it's not too dissimilar to what JMS is doing with Superman's Grounded storyline, where he is in touch with humanity in a big way. I mean, here he is saving a baby in the beginning. Then there's some random crime stuff here and there. I love Ron Garney's art. This isn't the best. It's not the most detailed piece he's done. He might have been in a hurry doing it, but it still looks really good. I do like Garney's art, even when, you know, a weaker piece than this. And actually, I shouldn't really say that because there's some really good stuff here. Maybe it's the coloring, but God, this is a great little piece. This is issue 304. I also recommend this. And here we go. Here is 343 issue of Daredevil, and let me get the art here. The artist is by Keith Pollard and Elvin M. Jones and Tom Palmer, who did all the art on this one. But what really makes this an individual standout, it's the only issue Warren Ellis ever wrote. Now, this is this is after the fall from grace, where he decided to fake his own death and become Jack Battleton and pretend he's a new Daredevil. This issue is after maybe a year or so of that, and he just kind of loses it and kind of just goes out and starts fighting crime in his regular clothes, not really letting people know that, you know, he's blind or he's, you know, Matt Murdock. He just shows up and beats the crap out of people while having this really hard kind of crisis of you know, of his sanity, really. Really good piece. Definitely recommend it. I never hear anybody talk about this issue, and I really enjoy this a lot. This is 343 of Daredevil, Warren Ellis. And let's go to a lighter tone, and this is Daredevil 359. Now, after all that was done, with a couple of years of trying to figure out what to do with Daredevil, Carl Kiesel jumps in and becomes the writer, and what did he, let's see, I'm trying to find, Kerry Nord became the artist. Now, Kerry had a really interesting kind of realistic look here and there. The problem is he was shitty with deadlines, but when he turned out good work, it was just really interesting to look at. And what Carl Kiesel was trying to do was give Daredevil a little more lighter flair after years of just hardship. Kind of taking it back to almost the Stan Lee kind of era, but still acknowledging, you know, that the darker side. Now, this issue is a pretty interesting standalone. It is now, Karen Page had after giving up trying to be an actress, she started a radio program where she did some talk radio, and she would often she did her show at night. And this issue kind of has an interesting idea where she's talking about, you know, things going on in the city and, you know, maybe some crime here and there. She knows that Daredevil can hear her voice somewhere on some radio, so he goes to it. And that's what goes on here in this issue. It's really really cool. I like this one a lot. It's 359 of Daredevil. Carl Kiesel didn't stay too long. He went to do Fantastic Four 2099 or something. Should have stayed with Daredevil. Okay, and that brings us to issue 65 or 445 with the regular numbering. And yeah, I can't believe it. I got a Brian Michael Bendis issue here as a one-shot. I know, he did one. Lots of art. I'm not even sure if I can even say all these artists. We got Michael Golden, Greg Horn, P. Craig Russell, Phil Hester, Andy Parks, Chris Picciolo, Tim Townsend, Jay Lee, David Finch, Frank Quietly, and Alex Beebe. Okay, it's one of these clusterfuck pieces where they have a whole bunch of artists jam on a story. This is after his identity was blown in the media. And this is a reflection issue, and this is Matt Murdock figuring out, okay, alright, this is what's happened to me, and this is my new life, and this is how I'm going to deal. And we have a whole bunch of, we have a couple of characters jumping in, like Spider-Man and Captain America coming to him and seeing, you know, if he's okay. And there is a great comeuppance with the Daredevil and Punisher. Like a year earlier, I'd say, the Punisher in Garth Ennis's Punisher Max line, he like totally embarrassed Daredevil in a story. And matter of fact, to be honest, as a Daredevil fan, I actually stopped reading that Max book because I was so annoyed with it. Well, he gets turns the tables on Punisher here in this short little piece drawn by Phil Hester. I like Punisher getting his ass kicked, and I can't get enough of it. And then we have great Chris Picciello artwork of Doctor Strange talking to Matt Murdock. This is a really excellent piece. This is much like the Frank Miller issue that I started this out with. You could get a whole bunch on what this writer felt about this character with this individual issue. This is a good point. If you want to check out what Bendis was doing with Daredevil, this is not a bad place to start. Then you can go on and see what else he has. Great run on his part. I'm going to say all these are great. You should definitely check them out. And I think that's about it. Push the button, Lindsay.